So, Crucial Conversations, this book is called Tools for Talking When the Stakes Are High. And I put it as the first thing that we're going to address in the marriage section because I feel like sometimes it can be really, who else are you having more crucial conversations with other than your partner, right? So, the beginning of the book talks about how often we believe that there's a fool's choice. So people often either believe that you can either speak up and make an enemy if you speak up and speak your mind, or you can suffer in silence while a bad decision is made. And this applies both in a romantic relationship, but you think about in work situations or government situations, you either feel like you have to speak up, make an enemy, or suffer in silence. But Crucial Conversations encourages you that through healthy dialogue, where you can say 100% honest and 100% respectful, you can come up with a third solution. And that is always that's going to be that third solution where you're not staying silent, you're not buying into the fool's choice, is always going to be the optimal solution. It's almost always going to be a win-win. It's where strategy and the highest levels of collaboration are going to take place. So that's the goal, is to not give in to the fool's choice, but to seek for a third mutually beneficial solution. And the key to having a crucial conversation, key to having any successful conversation here at Now, is to keep it safe. If you walk away with anything today, you want to keep it safe. Okay, so when you are entering into a crucial conversation, you want to start with the heart. So you want to start with your heart, because when you are under attack, I don't know if you know this, but when your body feels like it is under attack, your heart motivations unconsciously change due to the adrenaline, the chemicals that are pumping through our veins. Our heart motivations subconsciously change. So you have to refocus your brain. You have to recognize, I'm feeling a little bit under attack. My adrenaline is pumping. I have to focus on myself, refocus my brain to get my brain out of fight or flight mode. I talked earlier in one of our sessions that it is impossible for this part of your brain, I don't know if this is the right part of the brain, but the part of the brain that is fight or flight, it is impossible for that part of the brain to be firing while the part of the brain, I believe it's actually back here, the problem solving part of the brain is working at the same time. They can't work at the same time. So the fastest way to get your brain out of fight or flight into that problem solving mode is by refocusing the brain onto a problem. And the problem that you want to solve is, you want to ask yourself, you kind of want to, that Stephen Covey principle, begin with the end in mind. You want to ask yourself, what do I really want for myself? What do I really want for others? What do I want for this relationship? And how would I behave if I want these results? Okay, so you're going to choose to refocus on the problem that you're solving. What do I really want at the end of this conversation, and how would I behave to achieve those results? To get out of this fool's choice mode, you want to look for the and solution. So you want to clarify in your mind, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really don't want? And then present your brain with a solution to come up with an and statement. For example, how can I talk to my husband about being dependable, that's what you want, and avoiding creating bad feelings or wasting time? So just ask yourself that. How can I talk to my boss about getting a raise and not really make him mad? Okay? So make it safe. I'm going to go back to make it safe. So when you feel, the key is you want to enter into a conversation with the goal of keeping it safe. And when you feel like safety is in danger, this is the second point that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk to you about how to get it back into safety. So when you feel like safety in your conversation is at risk, this is what you're going to do. You're going to step out, make it safe, and step in. Step out, make it safe, and step in. What do I mean by when I say step out? That means you're going to remove yourself from what is actually being said, because often people, when they get into that fight or flight mode, they just start throwing words out, and that's not actually what they mean. So you're going to just step out from what is actually being said, and you're going to return to start with the heart. You're going to ask your brain again, what is it that I really want out of this situation? And then you need to identify which condition is at risk. So there's two things that create a safe environment: mutual purpose, mutual respect. So you need to identify if you feel like safety is at risk in your conversation. You have to figure out which condition is at risk. Mutual purpose means that the person that you're engaging in dialogue has to believe that there's a win-win, that we both want to have a win-win solution. And sometimes you might just personally really have to check your motives. Do you believe that you can find a win-win solution? And I believe, and the book says, that there is always a win-win solution out there. You just have to find it. Okay, so which condition is at risk? Mutual purpose. Is the person you're talking to, or maybe yourself, starting to feel like we aren't driving towards a win-win scenario? Or mutual respect. Do others believe that I respect them? So you want to consistently convey respect. And if you are struggling to actually feel like you respect that person, then go into the empathy part of your mind and start trying to empathize with them. Start putting yourself in their shoes. And that empathy will release a feeling of respect towards that person. So what do you do once you step out? You identify which two things are at risk. Is it the mutual purpose or the mutual respect? And then there are 4 things that you can do once you've stepped out. You can apologize when it's appropriate. You know, an apology is going to go a huge way to change the person that you're engaging with, to change their heart and return safety to the situation. You can contrast to fix a misunderstanding. Maybe someone is feeling like there isn't a win-win situation, or they're feeling disrespected, and it's just a miscommunication. So you can use contrasting to fix that misunderstanding. So you want to confirm the mutual respect and the mutual purpose. And you can use this as prevention and first aid. So contrasting is really just in general a fantastic way to clarify what you're trying to get to. You can say, you know, it's really important to me that we have this conversation about how we discipline our children, and I am not trying to disrespect you in any way. I respect your parenting tremendously. So I am not trying to say that you are a bad parent or that you're stupid. What I am trying to say is that I just heard this new information, and I think it would be really cool to apply it to our family. What I do feel is I respect you. What I don't feel is I don't think you're stupid. That's an example of contrasting. And then you might need to create a mutual purpose. Okay, so this is going back to, if people are feeling like there isn't a mutual purpose, then I'm going to give you a quick acronym to create a mutual purpose together. Or you might have to do this on your own, and you might want to give yourself a little bit of pre-thinking time before you enter into this conversation, if you have time. To create a mutual purpose, you're going to use this acronym called CRIB, C-R-I-B. Commit to seek mutual purpose out loud publicly. So I am committed that we are both going to walk away from this winning from this conversation. Recognize the purpose behind the strategy. Often people get stuck on the mode of how you're going to find the solution, and they lose sight of the purpose. So you want to define the purpose, invent a mutual purpose. You can, we both have a long-term goal of seeing our company become number 1 in the United States. Just redefine a higher or longer or bigger term, long-term mutual purpose, and then brainstorm new strategies to get there. So that's the CRIB method if you need to create a mutual purpose. So the key takeaways from today, because I know this was like a lot, this might feel like drinking out of a fire hydrant. The key takeaways for today in having a crucial conversation is, 1, you want to keep it safe. Keep it safe. 2, you want to consistently focus on what do you really want out of this relationship. And 3, you want to refocus your brain quickly on solving a problem to get out of fight or flight. Okay, so I encourage you to check out the homework and the notes for today, because I have all of this information bullet pointed. I would encourage you to order yourself a copy of that book. And your homework for today is to pick a conversation that you are going to have either today or within the next 3 days, what you would consider a crucial conversation, and prepare to have it, however you want to prepare to have it, and then have that conversation. Guys, can I just tell you that I used to be so afraid of conflict. One of my top 5 strengths is harmony. So I just want everybody to get along. And I hate having relational conflict. I hate like bringing it up. And now I after reading this book and implementing all the tools in it, I actually look forward to it. So that can be your story too. I have gone in, I mean, it is so game changing. I have prepared for some really scary conversations, things that have been very high stakes financially for me, in my business, in my career, in my family, and they have gone so well because I just sit down and I review my bullet points and I prepare for that conversation. And even conversations that you don't have time to prepare for, the more you practice this, the easier it gets. And then if you find yourself all of a sudden, which 9 times out of 10, you don't have time to prepare for a crucial conversation, you can just go into your crucial conversation mode, pull out those tools, and everybody's going to walk out of there win-win.